Here is Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy speaking at, or I guess they were doing some sort of like Pennsylvania event.
Yes, this was the rollout of their agenda, their agenda for the coming House term, and they were hearing some remarks about what from a woman who was in attendance at the event about what she wants them to focus on going into next year, if and when they recapture the House.
And there's a good chance that they will recapture the House. So this is a preview of what their agenda is going to be, which is critical race theory, Mr. Potato Head, that kind of thing. They've spent the past 2 years really not coming up with any real agenda, but it doesn't matter, because you have people like this who are in their constituency who think that this platform is sufficient because it's all just cultural garbage.
And when you hear if you hear on some Sunday shows or any sort of media appearance by any of these people in House leadership, House Republican leadership or anything like that, when they talk about wanting to focus on inflation and the economy and energy independence and the border, remember this woman saying what she wants them to focus on.
There are many other public education issues concerning parents like myself. The slow creep of critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender identity, and allowing biological boys to enter girls' spaces and sports. Now we have SEL, which is social emotional learning. It's indoctrination disguised as programs like kindness initiatives or anti-bullying programs or diversity projects. These are all Marxist-style programs targeting our children.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, right? Like, this is the consequence of what the Republican Party stokes so they don't have to talk about, say, their tax agenda. Like, and their pro-corporate agenda. They ride on, a lot of them are bigots themselves, but the ones that aren't in the House, the Republican representatives, want this woman's votes, so they're going to say what they have to say anyway. And I would argue they're bigots just by like allowing for this kind of talk to happen within their party. But when this is what you push on the ground, it activates their voter base for this to feel like it's like the end of the world when critical race theory is being taught at a local college in their area.
It is not Marxist to say that there's been racism in American history. I don't quite follow that. No.
I am absolutely amazed that of course, this woman is a voter, she is not a member of leadership, but I am just amazed that there is zero pushback from a mainstream political party where a woman is saying to them that she wants them to focus on ending anti-bullying programs. That's
the thing.
So now the Republicans are on record as being at least okay with the idea of putting anti-bullying initiatives on the same level of critical race theory or DEI programs in schools. They are equivalent to one another.
But that's the thing, right? They work hand in hand, and we had that Texas candidate.
I thought of her with Shelley Luther. I thought of her when I saw this clip.
Yeah, who was lamenting the fact that her children were unable to bully gay kids or trans kids in school. They are the pro-bullying party. I mean, Trump is the ultimate bully.
Well, what they're mad about is a number of cases have happened where kids have been suspended or something for bullying, and it's been bullying trans kids, and the parents think that should be allowed, and that their kids should not face punishment for that. And all of a sudden, the school starts getting death threats and things like that. That's where the rubber hits the road here.
And protecting the children is as old of a trope in like right-wing politics as there can be. It really is just a fig leaf for larger like hatred and protecting institutions that are discriminatory, and like they want bullying to exist. By the way, again, as Trump is the #1 bully in the country, wasn't Melania's whole thing be best?
Anti-bullying.
I'm against it. It's so sad. But like at the same time, you can just see how there's just really no connection with whatever is being said at the top, and how on that front it's just like, you know, a way to hide the true reality of this. But regardless, like, they were probably bullies themselves. I'm sure they bullied gay kids and called them slurs, and they want their kids to be able to do the same thing without consequences. It's the same kind of like cancel culture debate thing, which is like, this is the worst thing in the world because I'm facing consequences for my hateful rhetoric. But they don't want to see gay kids. They don't want to see trans kids. They want them bullied out of existence, either to go back into the closet or to kill themselves. And they want that to be a larger policy that said, like, okay, yeah, in schools you should be able to do this. And that's like an activating principle for Republicans going into the midterms. It's astounding to me, but. We said this from the start of the critical race theory panic, and now with these "Don't Say Gay" bills coming out of Florida and other places, if you're able to activate these parents at PTA meetings, at school board meetings, they're going to go to the polls as well. And so, like, with this hateful rhetoric, they're able to make politics as personal as possible. Because it makes it seem like your kid's going to get indoctrinated at any moment or suspended for bullying a trans kid. Better vote Republican.
Kiel, Wisconsin. This is just from a letter to the editor, but just to get the facts out there. In May of this year, the Kiel Area School District launched an investigation into 3 middle school boys for violation of federal civil rights law. This Title IX sexual harassment investigation resulted in national news coverage, threatened lawsuits, attorneys' fees, bomb threats, death threats, and canceled school and civic activities. That was in part after one of the people appeared on Tucker Carlson to complain about it.